If she's pulling back, taking forever to text, acting like she's halfway out the door, don't chase, don't explain, don't send another paragraph. There's one calm sentence you can say that flips the whole vibe. No flexing, no begging, no games. And the wild part, the moment you drop it, she starts wondering why you didn't react like every other guy, checking her phone, replaying the convo, telling herself, nah, hold up, why am I thinking about him right now? Stay with me, because once you hear this, you're never texting the same again. It's late. Like stupid late. Phone glowing in the dark, one eye open, thumb hovering over the screen. You already sent the last text, now you're waiting. Again. Refreshing. Locking the phone. Unlocking it. Telling yourself you don't care, but checking anyway. If this is you, yeah. I know. The silence hits louder at night. You replay what you said. Was it too much? Too fast? Too soft? Did that joke land wrong? Did that emoji make you look desperate? Should you've waited an hour instead of 10 minutes? Maybe this hits closer than you expected. You swear you're chill in front of your boys. All good, bro. I'm cool. But alone? You're pacing. Scrolling old messages. Noticing how she used to text longer. Send voice notes, double text without caring. Now, one word replies, dry energy, that slow fade that makes your stomach drop even though you act like you're above it. And the worst part, you feel yourself wanting to chase, explain, send another message just to keep the thread alive, crack a joke, ask what she's doing, anything so the connection doesn't die. But some quiet voice in your head keeps saying, don't, because every time you've done that before, it made things worse. You hate that feeling. That weak, restless, low-key, desperate vibe you promised yourself you'd never fall into again. Sitting there thinking, how did I go from confident to waiting? And nobody talks about that part, that moment when your chest tightens for no reason. When you stare at the ceiling and think, why does she suddenly have the power here? Here's what I want to ask you. What if the move that makes her lean in isn't chasing harder? What if it's saying one calm sentence that flips the whole dynamic? And the real question is, are you brave enough to say it? Instead of sending the text you're typing right now, let me talk to you like an older brother would. No hype, no gimmicks, just real. Most guys think if a woman starts drifting, you gotta fix it. Text more. Explain yourself, crack jokes, send memes. Act chill while you're low, key stressed out. I've been there. Sitting in my car with the engine off. Night air still warm, phone lighting up the dash, typing something, deleting it, typing again. That weird, tight feeling in your chest you don't want to admit is nerves. You tell yourself, I'm cool. But you're checking the screen every 2 minutes anyway. Here's where men mess this up. They think attraction grows from effort alone, from proving, from showing how much they care. Nah, that's comfort talk, not pull her closer talk. One of the hardest masculine truths. You don't chase energy that's pulling away. You hold your ground. Calm beats loud, still beats frantic. Another one most dudes hate hearing. If you're scared to lose her, she already feels it. Not in words, in tone, in timing, in that extra sentence you added for no reason. She feels the shift before you do. I remember learning this the ugly way, saying too much, trying to smooth things over, driving home with the windows down, telling myself I handled it fine, knowing deep down I didn't. Because when a man is centered, he doesn't scramble, he lets silence breathe, he doesn't audition for approval. He speaks once, clean, steady. And that's what messes with her head, not arrogance, not coldness. Presence. So let me ask you something straight up. What if the reason she's pulling back isn't because you're not saying enough, but because you're saying too much? And the sentence that flips it all is the one you're afraid to send because it feels too calm, too controlled, too unbothered. The room was quiet in that annoying way. Not peaceful, just empty, laptop still open. Some random show paused halfway through a scene. The hum of the AC cutting in and out. Cold air brushing your forearms while your phone sat face down on the couch like it might bite you. You already knew what the screen said. Her last message, 6 hours ago. You told yourself you weren't tripping. that you had stuff to do, that you weren't about to sit here counting minutes like a rookie. Still, you flip the phone over, nothing. Jaw tight, foot tapping, mind running laps. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe that joke came off weird. It's why'd I reply so fast? Man, you hate that spiral. The kind that sneaks up while you're pretending everything's chill. You remember how she used to lean toward you when you talked. Eyes locked. That half smile like she knew something you didn't. Now the air feels heavier, like the room knows something changed before you did. You stand up, walk to the kitchen, open the fridge even though you're not hungry. Light spills out. Nothing in there but cold leftovers and that same quiet feeling in your chest. You start typing. Stop. Delete. Type again. Just checking. Nah. That ain't it. Thumb hovering. Heart thumping a little harder than you want to admit, because deep down you feel it. The moment you chase it, the moment you explain, the moment you try to rescue the vibe, but that's when it slips. You stare at the blinking cursor long. Then you breathe out slow, shoulders drop, and a different line forms. Short, clean. Not trying to convince, not asking. Just solid, you don't send it yet. But the real question isn't what the sentence is. It's why the calm version of you feels scarier than the desperate one. Most guys walk into this situation carrying quiet beliefs they don't even realize are running the show. One of them, if I show her more effort, she'll come back. I used to believe that hard. Send the follow-up. Then another, explain what I meant. Smooth the vibe, tell myself I was being mature. Truth is, I was anxious. Sitting in my car outside my place, engine ticking as it cooled, rereading what I sent, hoping it didn't come off needy. That hope, she felt it. Not in the words, in the weight behind them. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself. Another belief men cling to. If I pull back, I'll lose her, so they hover instead. Stay available 24/7, reply in 30 seconds flat even when they're busy. Cancel plans they were excited about. That doesn't read as strong. It reads as scared. You don't lose her. You lose your own presence. And here's the sneaky one. I gotta keep her entertained. Be funny. Be clever. Be nonstop energy. Man, that's exhausting. Attention is cheap. Respect is priceless. The shift happens when you stop performing and start standing still inside yourself. When your texts stop chasing and start sounding like a guy who's got a life, moving whether she leans in or not. It doesn't feel dramatic. It feels weirdly quiet at first, like waking up after a long night and realizing you don't need to prove anything to keep your ground. And that calm. Low-key scary, because it means you're finally done selling yourself and ready to speak from a place that doesn't shake when she pauses. The 1% headman sees something most dudes miss, not because he's louder, not because he's flashing status or trying to dominate a room, because he's steady. This is what he understands. When a woman pauses, slows her replies, leans back a little, he doesn't flinch. No frantic typing. No, hey, you okay? No triple texts stacked on top of each other like pancakes at midnight. He feels the itch, sure. That little spike in the chest. But he doesn't let it drive the wheel. This is how he leads, with presence, not pressure. He keeps his plans. Goes to the gym anyway. Laughs with his boys. Finishes the thing he said he'd finish. Phone stays face down on the table. Not as a tactic, as a truth. Because his life is moving whether she texts back or not. He understands something else too. Silence isn't a threat when you're solid inside. It's just space. Most guys try to fill space with words. The 1% man lets space talk. He answers when he answers, clear, calm, no extra fluff trying to earn points. When he finally sends that line, it's short, grounded, almost boring, and that's what makes it hit. Because it doesn't smell like fear. It smells like a man who knows where he's going, with or without anybody chasing behind him. That's the part most people skip. They want the sentence. The 1% headman builds the spine first. And that's why, when he speaks, people lean in. Not because he's trying. Because he doesn't have to. The bathroom light buzzed a little, not loud. Just enough to make the silence feel thicker. He leaned on the sink. Cold porcelain under his palms. Eyes a little tired, phone on the counter. Screen dark. For once, a flash hit him out of nowhere. Him last week, sitting in his car, engine running, rereading that same thread like it was a puzzle he could solve if he stared long enough. Him pacing his room at 1:47 a.m., drafting texts he never sent, deleting the ones he almost did. Man, that version of him felt smaller, not weak, just folded in on himself. Another buzz from the lights. He picked up the phone, opened the chat, cursor blinking. I say something funny. I say something smooth. Up to say something so she doesn't drift. Nah. His shoulders dropped, breath out slow. A quieter line floated up, not flashy, not pleading, almost whispered in his head. I'm good either way. It landed heavy, like a weight hitting concrete. He straightened a little without realizing it. Different memory now. Walking into a room where nobody needed convincing. Laughing loud with friends. Moving through life like he belonged there. He didn't send anything yet. Just stood there, feeling the shift. The moment he stopped shrinking. The moment he remembered he wasn't here to audition. And that calm. That was the real flex. Low, key, unshakable. The kind that makes people lean closer without knowing why. Phone still on the counter. Breath slow, heart quiet but steady. You don't scramble. You don't chase. You don't beg for scraps of attention. The night hums around you. AC buzz. Streetlights slicing through blinds. The kind of silence that feels alive. And then you realize that she wasn't lost. You were just giving her too much power over your own calm. So you let it sit, let it breathe. Because the line you finally drop doesn't ask, doesn't plead. It lands heavy. And from that moment on, she's chasing the energy you stopped giving away for free. You don't chase her. You just exist. And that's enough.